Hello everyone, my name is Aimee. I'm the Black Cat Stitcher here on YouTube and on Instagram. And this is my monthly cross stitch update. And before I get into the cross stitch update part, I have a few shout outs to do. And first being to my mom. My mom's birthday was yesterday. I was actually planning on, excuse me, got a frog. I was actually planning on doing this video on her birthday, but yeah, due to, well, my cats generally didn't end up getting that done. Yeah, they have a new cat patio, and yeah, the shelves on there are kind of flimsy, so I'm gonna, have my dad help me, build a modification to make them a little bit more sturdy. But, I mean, they'll do for now. But, yeah, sometimes the shelves fall down in the cat patio, so unfortunately there was a loud crash during the middle of one of my attempts at filming my video, so I went outside to get them out of the cat patio and put the shelves back together, and yes, kiss. Yeah, and now, it's all good, and they're enjoying their time out there, so, yeah, they really like their new cat patio. But anyway, I digress. It was my mom's birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Mom, and, I love you, and may you have many more happy birthdays. Yes, kiss. He says happy birthday to my mom as well. My grandma and my mom and my cats, her grand fur babies, are very close. Anyway, down to the second shout out, which is to my grandpa. He also had his birthday recently, and although I wasn't there to celebrate in person, I was there to celebrate over video call. And I don't think he watches these videos, but maybe someday somebody might show him this, and he'll be pleased as punch for me to have wished him a happy birthday on the internet. So happy birthday, Grandpa, and again, I love you, and I wish you many more happy birthdays. The last shout out is to my dad. My dad and my mom are coming to visit me at the end of this week, actually, and I'm super stoked about that, and they're gonna help me, fix the problems with my cat patio, but we're also gonna, excuse me, we're also gonna, hang out and enjoy our time together. But the reason that he's coming down to Wyoming with my mom is because he's soon to be a retired man. At the end of this week, he's, gonna retire, and he's got only one more week left of work, so I'm sure he's counting the hours, maybe the seconds, who knows. But happy retirement, Dad, and, I'm looking forward to seeing you here in just a short period of time and having a, fun hangout. But anyway, that is the end of my shout outs, so we can get straight into the actual cross stitch stuff, which is what you're all here for. So this month I've had a pretty productive month. I had 2 new starts, 2 finishes, and I worked on 2 WIPs, or 1 WIP, 2 WIPs, 2 WIPs. The first thing that I'll start with is showing you my finishes for the month. One of my WIP goals, or finish goals, was to finish all 4 of the seasonal trees from DMC Cross Stitch on Etsy, and I have now successfully completed that goal. The first tree that I finished this month, I don't have a before picture because I really didn't have that much left. I basically had, you know, maybe this much down of the silver to complete. So pretty quickly at the beginning of this month, I was able to finish the pink seasonal tree. Yes, Hirsch. And then I picked up the purple seasonal tree, and which this is what it looked like when I started at the beginning of this month. And this is where I got to. Obviously, I finished. So I have now successfully completed all 4 of the seasonal trees. And that somewhat leads me to, yes, Hershey Hirsch, to one of my, I suppose, new starts. Because, you know, as a part of my WIPGO plans, I had planned to reward myself with a new start for each successful completed finish. So for finishing the seasonal trees, I had planned to start the project QS Gray Spaces by Josephine Wall, and are charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. QS stands for Quick Stitch, and I started one of those patterns. I think I'm working on the blue one, if I'm not mistaken. Here is my new start. Now I had somewhat of a, I suppose, saga with this one, because if you've ever done a Josephine Wall piece, I'm sure you know that there's a lot of confetti. And what my preferred method I've discovered through trial and error is extreme cross country within my Q-snap. And with something that's super confetti heavy, that's really hard because, you know, you can do like 3 or 4 stitches. I'm a little bit tired, sorry about that. See, hi, Hirsch. Yeah. Anyway, my cats love the new couch that I got. Also, sorry about the gurgling sound in the background. It's my washing machine. It suddenly got a little bit louder, so hopefully you can still hear me. But anyway, yeah, extreme cross country is my preferred method, but with something that's confetti heavy, it's, you know, you might have a cluster of, you know, 4 or 5 stitches, and then like 10 rows down, you have another 4. So that I had chosen, I don't think you can see it down the side here, this creamy color, because it borders the entire oval here on the right side of it. So I was gonna, you know, start with that one to give myself a little bit border, but, you know, tone towards the bottom here, it starts to, you know, spread out a little bit, so there's more counting involved, and of course, I made an error. So I unstitched it all the way back up to here, where I had made the error, and he's like, you know, it's not gonna work out for me to do this extreme cross country, because the amount of errors that I'm gonna make is going to outweigh the amount of things I do right. So, you know, I'm not opposed to fudging, but too much fudging is a problem. But I started parking. Yes, Hirsch, you're in the way. I started parking, which I quickly became frustrated with. But I decided to modify the parking a little bit. Basically, I took the colors that I had already, you know, started parking in the second quadrant, or the third quadrant, because I was on the second quadrant over here, and I cross-country stitched them across the top of the row and parked them, you know, in the second row. And when I had completed all those threads across the top, I picked them up and parked them and did them cross country across the second row, third and fourth, or just third. I haven't done the fourth, but they're currently parked in the fourth row. But that I think is gonna be, I guess, my modified parking way that I'm going to do this. I'm gonna build a framework, I guess, with these colors so that I have more of a structure to count off of. And then once I get down to the bottom here and have that structure completed, I can go back to picking a color and starting it extreme cross country. And I don't believe that a lot of these colors, you know, will go all the way down to the bottom, because looking at the picture here, you know, that green is only kind of, you know, on the top, and then we have her face, and then it gets back to the green. So eventually I'm gonna have to pick some different colors to, you know, make a structure of blue, you know, on her face, so that I can keep, you know, building the scaffolding, so to speak, for going back to extreme cross country. So yeah, anyway, next I have a, where is it? A second new start. This, Mom, you'll have to look away, because this is the, yes, kiss. He says you have to look away because, this is the companion piece to your gift that I'm giving you. This is technically for Auntie, but, you know, I don't want you to see the picture of your gift and, you know, give it away. So anyway, here's the picture of what my new start is going to look like. And like I said, I'm doing 2 of these on here currently. I've already started one of them, which is a gift for my mom. It's the red iris in the top corner of this photograph. But the one that I started this time was the spiky red one on the top row, which is a crown imperial flower. Yeah, and these designs were charted by Whoopie Cat on Etsy, and they were originally, the art was originally by Golay. So here is my new start, and as you can see, I'm doing this the, you know, extreme cross country version within the Q-snap. So I did the border. I've got, you know, the blue blocks with, you know, the teal stripes around within the Q-snap, and I only have like a little bit over on this edge left, but of course I have a whole lot more vertically. And then I picked out this brown to color complete, and I guess to complete the 1,000 stitches. That was my WIP goal. I have another goal on this that has yet to be called, to do with an additional 1,000 stitches, so you will see this piece again later on this year. All right, so that does it for my new starts. Oops. And I worked on 2 WIPs. The first WIP was a part of the May goals for my WIP Go board. The May goals for my WIP Go board that were called, 1 was going to complete a page finish on this piece. This is Shy Cat. And the other was to do the finish of this project, which I haven't succeeded in yet, but I did succeed in the page finish portion of this, the goals that I had for the month of May. So here's the photograph of what it looked like before I started. And here, let's move the parked threads. Here is what it looks like currently. So yeah, I did get a page finish. And I have 2 like tiny partial pages at the bottom here to finish. One of them is mostly complete, with the exception of this, you know, this edge and the little hole here, and then a full page up at the top to complete. And that is, finishing this piece is my final finish goal, I guess, on my WIP Go board. And I'm actually surprised that I'm getting to work on this so early in the year. When I created my WIP Go board, I guess, I thought that, you know, I do want to work towards a finish on this piece, but I didn't think that I would actually get there. Because I figured my first priority to finish was my Star Wars piece. I figured I would get that finished, you know, maybe, you know, August-ish, and because that's a huge full coverage piece, and I thought it would, you know, take me a lot longer to finish that than it did. And then, I mean, these seasonal trees, they're a lot smaller than a lot of my pieces, but they have a lot of black coloring, and I thought, you know, they would would be a quick stitch, but I was almost completed with the blue tree, but I had barely started on all of the rest of them. So I figured it would take me, you know, a couple months, you know, to get finished with these, and then I'd pick this up and work towards the finish, you know, maybe October, November, or November probably, and then, you know, because of the holiday season, November and December, yeah, it probably wouldn't have gotten worked on all that much, and I never would have gotten it finished, but I'm surprised that I'm getting to work on this so early in the year, and that, you know, I might actually get a blackout now. So I'm stoked. I'm really stoked. So I've decided, I guess, as a portion of my plans, to add another reward to my WIP Go plans, and that is, if I do get a blackout on my WIP Go board, I'll have another new start. And for right now, I've decided that that new start is going to be this. This is the 2022 Pride Sal, which I bought recently. I was thinking about having a new start for Pride, and, you know, participating in the stitching prompts for the hashtag Stitch for Pride challenge developed by D's 20 Stitches. If you are not watching them and aren't participating in this challenge, I recommend you go check it out, because in addition to stitching prompts to celebrate Pride, there is, you know, a daily short educational portion, which I am participating in, and I do encourage everybody to do that, because I personally am learning a lot. There's, you know, a lot, you know, of, you know, historic, you know, locations and terminologies that I had never known about before, and, you know, I'm having the opportunity to learn about, and I'm really excited about that. But anyway, that 2022 Move Forward with Love Sal from Modern Folk Embroidery is what I'm going to add as my reward piece for getting a blackout at the end of this year. So that, I don't know, I'm thinking, I really like the photograph with the pink in the background, but so I'm thinking, you know, of getting some, you know, pink hand-dyed fabric to do this on. But, you know, there's so many colors on the rainbow, and, you know, I, you know, would definitely take suggestions of what other colors that fabric that I can potentially purchase for this. So yeah, give your suggestions in the comments on what color of fabric I should be looking for. But yeah, that. Oh, I have one more WIP. Actually, I almost said goodbye without showing it to you. My last WIP is the Mill Hill Alley Cats Ashes little kit that I have. I pick this up on occasion, you know, when I don't have all that much time to stitch, and I need something small that I can carry, or maybe carry around with me. So I did, here's where I was. I had like half of his face done. And now I've got the bottom. Let's stretch this out a little bit because it was in the Q-snap. I've got the bottom corner done. Stitching. I haven't done the beading down here yet. I finished his face, a leg, and then I'm working my way up, you know, to reconnect here at the top of the cat's body. And I did the back stitching on his nose and his whiskers as well. So there is a concern that I have about this one that I'd like to, you know, get some opinions and maybe suggestions on. I'm currently doing it in this small 6x6 Q-snap. But I tried to do the beading in that bottom quarter, and when I completed it and moved the Q-snap over, like a lot of the beading was gonna be potentially crushed by the Q-snap when, you know, I put it back in. So I undid all the beading, and I only have a small portion up on the top corner of that bottom corner of beading completed. As you can see, I got some beads up there. But, you know, I'm gonna now save it for the end, but this isn't gonna fit in 11 by 11 Q-snaps, which is what I've got. And I'm not exactly sure if it would fit in an 8 by 8 even. So, you know, I'm not exactly sure if there's any tips that I can use in order to complete the beading with my little 6x6 Q-snap. I do have a hoop that it probably will fit in, but I really don't like that hoop. It's not of high quality. It's just a cheap one that I bought on Amazon, and the tension from that isn't very good. So any tips that, you know, and I'm kind of scared of doing it in hand, to be honest. But I guess maybe encourage me that doing it in hand won't be that bad and my tension will be good and that I'll be able to get the beading done, or give me some tips, I guess, on how I can successfully like move my Q-snap around without hurting the beads. So yeah, that's that. That is all that I have to talk about. And hopefully you guys have a good rest of the month. For plans, I'm going to focus on a finish for Shy Cat. I don't think I'm gonna get a finish, but I'm gonna get, I think, pretty close. So if I eat crow and I do end up getting a finish, I, you know, may have a new start at the end of next month as well. So with Princess Eliana. But yeah, have a good month and enjoy your stitching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.